It's a wonderful story about family.
Oh yes, there's been lots of challenges because I'm interpreting the play and I'm having to translate not only the lines but the songs as well.
For a deaf audience as well, it's really visual for them. What's happening on stage, the set is really visual, and the costumes and the dancing.
My name's Sarah Brigger and I'm Chief Executive and Artistic Director of Derby Theatre, and I'm also directing The Jungle Book. So The Jungle Book's a really great story. It's about identity, it's about growing up, it's about knowing what your place in the world is. And Neil Duffield's adaptation, I think, is really cleverly takes the original and kind of makes it relevant for today. And so that's really why I wanted to direct it. And it felt like the perfect story for our families. Lots of opportunities for movement, song, well-known story that they'd love, but also really great in terms of our first ever BSL integrated show. A really good show that for the deaf audiences that's about culture and belonging and how we make sense of the world.
My name is Iniki Mariano and I'm playing Mowgli.
My name's Elliot Rennie and I'm playing Shere Khan.
I'm Caroline and I'm playing Tabiki and I'm also signing the show.
So my name is Emily. This is my sign name. I'm performing the character Raksha within The Jungle Book.
My creative process for getting into character is to first of all read the script.
So I look at the script, I'm quite studious, so I make lists. What I say about other people, what other people say about me. I list out all the facts of the character, and then once I've done all of that, I then learn the lines and then try to match patterns of text with what I think of relationships that my character might have with people, try to find their physicality, their weight, and yeah, just like little things that they do in a day, which could then influence how they might behave in a scene.
Not arms, birds, we're talking about birds.
Wings!
Wings, yes, right on wings.
Right on
Oh.
wings! Oh! Right on wings! Ah!
Puff you all, black people! Pink birds fly in the...
Right on wings of air!
Splendid! Superb!
I like working physically. I like being in the room and working out proxemics of the power in the room, who's got the status and who's in charge and who walks into a room and changes that situation. So I like getting it up on its feet and working physically. And for example, the start of this play starts with me going from very much being a tiger on stage to suddenly breaking into song. And you kind of have to try and make that work and work out how you do that so it doesn't just come out of the blue and seem weird, that it seems quite a natural progression. So that's the test.
So BSL is integrated throughout the show. So we have two brilliant interpreters who are also characters in the show, who go around and they interpret the conversations that the other characters have. And we've also got an additional 2 deaf actors in the show who whose characters are deaf, and so they're signing as well.
So that's a new challenge as well. Obviously using BSL, but trying to take it away from being humanistic, so not fluent BSL sign language. So for example, like the sign for what is, what it is the phrase. In BSL, you'll wiggle your finger like this and really move your eyebrows. But wolf behaviour, I was trying to think, how would you sign that? and the idea was to show it on your face, kind of like a wolf would. So it's just little things like that throughout the production.
For me, it's the first time I've worked with actors who are deaf, and working with BSL in sign language has been very interesting. A unique challenge in that learning how to be in a scene but also share the signs and justify that has been a real interesting challenge.
The biggest challenge is trying to work out the set, because the set is on several different levels, but at the moment it's just a mark out with tape on the rehearsal floor. So I'm standing in one particular spot and I'm thinking, am I on the floor, or am I up in the air, or am I really high up? So that's the biggest challenge.
And the strength of the wolf is the
These are the laws of the jungle.
And then on the music side, what happens is quite early on, the composer will send me little things to listen to.
Hello, I'm Ivan Stott, and I'm playing the role of Baloo the bear. But I've also written all the music and songs for the show.
And depending on the composer you work with, sometimes they'll be developed before you even start, sometimes they'll be developed throughout the rehearsal process. With this one, it was a bit of both. There's 11 songs, and I think 9 of them were written before we started, and a couple were just either developed, or one was written completely from scratch throughout the process, depending on who's in the room.
Influences for the Jungle Book, I think I think my starting point was to look at kind of other cultures. So I'm really interested in music from Africa, from India, and although I don't play any of those instruments, I use software and to make it look as though I can. So I've used a lot of traditional Indian instruments like a tabla and dholak and a santur, which is a kind of a little dulcimer, almost like a harp that you hit with wooden beaters. Creates quite a magical kind of sound. One of the big challenges with the Jungle Book, I think, is the iconic songs from the Disney film that everybody knows and loves. And playing Baloo particularly, everyone knows the bare necessities. So to try and kind of come up with a song that's not the bare necessities that everyone will still love has been quite a challenge. However, I'm quietly confident that I may have come up with something that I think people will really go away and love and remember. So that's a number that really stands out for me as my own big number in the show, Baloo's song. I'm also really loving the Sergeant Major's song at the moment, which is a new one. Was probably the last one that I wrote, so it's probably the freshest in my memory. So I'm really enjoying that one as well, because it's got 1 or 2 surprises in it.
I've grappled with grizzly gorillas, captured cruel crocodiles, tackled terrifying tigers, wrestled rhinos in the wild. I've grappled grizzly gorillas, captured cruel crocodiles, I've tackled terrifying tigers, wrestled rhinos in the wild. Because we've gone.
Okay, so Tech Week is when all the elements come together. The music, that you can hear them practicing right now, Oh, just as I say that, he starts to stop. So the music comes together, the lighting comes together, the set. Basically, we move out of the rehearsal room into the theatre. And really, this is when the kind of acting coaching stops, or doesn't stop, but kind of takes a back seat. And we really focus on getting all the production elements together. So how does the lighting, how does the sound, how does everything, the captioning, the music, how does it all meld together to make a really high quality production? So in the auditorium, you'll see me on what we call cans, which are earphones with a kind of microphone. And basically that's how we communicate through the technical rehearsals. So all the creatives are on cans so that we can be talking to each other without kind of interrupting what's happening on stage. And so the kind of things that I'm saying are, oh, I think we need a little bit more lighting stage left, or can I see a little bit more of this actor? Can I see a little bit more of that actor? That sound doesn't sound quite right. Can that go up? Can that go down? So there's kind of a continuous conversation happening as we're changing things on stage. So there's quite a lot of elements about that throughout the week, and that whole process takes from the Monday to the Friday. So we start on the Sunday getting the set in, and then on the Monday starting to focus the lights and plot the lights, and then on the Tuesday we go into what we call technical rehearsals, where the actors are there and we're just getting it all to work. Then we start dress rehearsals, which is a run through but without an audience, on the Wednesday and the Thursday. And then on the Friday we open.
You should come and see this production because it's going to be great. It's going to have everything in it. Amazing story about belonging and about growth and about where you fit in.
I think they can expect quite a lot of laughs.
They can expect music, and they can expect some emotional moments as well.
A thrill ride. It really will be a thrill ride.
I think audiences can expect a really fun family show, but with kind of new elements that maybe they've not seen before. Yeah, like the songs, I'm already singing them at like 3 o'clock in the morning, going around my head. The movement and dance pieces are really exciting. So yeah, I think it's a really multi-layered production, and hopefully there's something for everyone in there.